couple of months. But there's some great bits in there about how just cringy, strung out, and deeply, deeply unlikable Elon Musk is. It begins with a guy named Ben Vizachero, who, due to Doge cuts, was fired from his dream job working as a biologist in the Los Padres National Forest. When a Democratic lawmaker invited Vizachero as a guest to Trump's joint address to Congress in March, he found himself seated near Musk. He took the opportunity to confront the world's richest man. According to Vizachero, he described his job to Musk and asked, "Am I waste?" He says Musk, with a very condescending smirk, hit him with a line from the 1999 movie Office Space. "What would you say you do here?" Oh. Very funny, the movie.
Got him. I am become meme.
Yeah. They then list some of the many times Musk has publicly referenced and claimed to love that movie, a movie which he clearly does not understand at all, because the guys saying that line that Elon loves so much are very obviously the villains in the movie.
They're not cool. They're not the heroes.
And
they
also,
are the antagonists.
Kind of like one of the initial points in the movie is something that he should take to heart. Like, if you have everything, what the fuck are you doing messing with other people's lives or even working?
Yeah.
So it is a movie, as we all remember, about how corporate culture and CEOs in particular fucking suck. This movie is about him in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I just don't see how he could relate to this movie in any way unless his sense of humor and media literacy is just in the gutter.
Yeah, no, he's wired wrong.
Like, this movie is saying fuck you to you in particular, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. They try to steal from their company. So, I don't know.
Anyways, later in the article, we get some interesting insight into how Elon is perceived by others in Trump's orbit. And it's not very positive. I know. Shocking. "I have been in the same room with Elon, and he always tries to be funny. And he's not funny. Like, at all," says a senior Trump administration official. "He makes these jokes and little asides and smiles and then looks almost hurt if you don't lap up his humor. I keep using the word annoying. A lot of people who have to deal with him do. But the word doesn't do the situation justice. Elon just thinks he's smarter than everyone else in the room and acts like it, even when it's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about." Musk has gnawed at the patience of an array of high-ranking administration officials, to the point that, according to this official and two others, Trump lieutenants have walked out of meetings and earnestly asked one another if they thought Musk was high. Administration officials joked to one another about subjecting Musk to mandatory drug testing, which Musk himself has said would be a great idea for federal employees. A lawyer for Musk has said he's regularly and randomly drug tested at SpaceX and has never failed a test. I don't believe you.
He's got one of those fake wieners that you buy down at the head shop.
"It's not sexual harassment if it's not a real penis.
I will trade you a jar of my cum for a jar of your delicious, sterile pee." I almost said penis, but pee.
"Talking to the guy is sometimes like listening to really rusty nails on a chalkboard," said the senior Trump administration official, who adds that Musk is not much of a team player either. "He's just the most irritating person I've ever had to deal with, and that is saying something."
Yeah, I seeing him in the room and being, this is the thing we talked about months ago, about how it will eventually wear people down who have worked their entire lives to get to the positions they're in.
Yeah.
Regardless of how awful they are, obviously. But this guy's going to rub them in the wrong way because he acts like because he is, a rich person's son.
Yeah, and it's also, it's, you know, that thing where you don't realize how dumb he is until he starts talking about something you know on a deep professional level.
As all the gamers saw.
And yeah, I imagine a lot of people, even if they are working in the Trump administration, even if they are on board with all of that, you know, they still did some work to get where they are. They still have some expertise. And when they see this fucking drugged out jackass come in and start talking out of his ass, yeah, it's got to be a bit irritating.
He self-admits, like he admits that he does ketamine. So what does the drug testing even mean?
Well, he admits he does ketamine in a therapeutic way, which you don't really get high when you do it that way. He does not seem to be doing ketamine in a medical. Yeah.
Obviously,
he seems to just be getting fucking high.
Yeah, that's why I think he has the fake penis.
Well, I mean, we know he has a fake penis. Azalea Banks said so.
I just realized that Elon Musk is not a normal person, and he probably just closes the door and just brings out a jar of piss that isn't his and is like, here you go, this is my piss. Nobody's watching him like it's a fucking...
Yeah, the drug test, it's absolute fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Anyways, it continues. The emails that Musk has had sent to federal employees have been so intentionally dickish that several have produced an avalanche of what one Trump administration official called very rude pranks and replies. Some of these crass responses include, per messages reviewed by Rolling Stone, graphic sexual images, including content involving urine and feces. That wasn't far off. I know Elon probably won't see it, but I hope he sees it, says one now former federal employee who says they replied to one such email with an image of a human butthole.
I wonder which image of a human butthole that was.
Yeah, hard to say. Musk is apparently amused by the unrest. Aside from his public memeing, when he has privately messaged associates and confidants about reports from federal staffers about how their lives have been wrecked, the Tesla CEO has been known to react with laugh-crying emojis, according to a source with direct knowledge of the matter.
So that's 100% true.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically, what if Michael Scott was constantly and consistently on drugs and also evil?
Yeah.
But it's worse somehow because Michael Scott, is at least... He doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities, but I feel like he means well. Elon seems intentionally evil.
Yeah. He's evil Michael Scott.
Yeah.
On drugs.
Yeah. Beyond his sociopathic attitude towards the government employees that he's firing, though, Doge is also up to some truly sketchy shit with regards to sensitive data that does not seem to have anything to do at all with cost-cutting and government efficiency.
Yeah, so NPR this week published a long piece on what Doge has been up to at the National Labor Relations Board, the government agency that's in charge of enforcing labor laws and overseeing collective bargaining by unions. It's an agency that, like many others, Elon has butted heads with as CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. In this case, due to serious complaints from workers at those companies. Many complaints, many active cases. And according to a whistleblower, Doge just sort of showed up one day and started hoovering up data from the NLRB's servers, potentially including sensitive, confidential information on unions, ongoing legal cases, and corporate secrets. And when they did it, they made sure that their activities were not monitored by loggers and tracking tools. Seems sus.
Yeah, I would be certainly upset. I am, but I would be very upset if I had any oversight on this, if I was anyone working there.
Yeah, so one of the IT guys at the NLRB, especially once they left and he was assessing what the fuck just happened, he's like, oh God. It's almost like we've been hacked by Russia or North Korea, but it was literally a bunch of teenagers who said, let me in. Elon said I could do this. Anyway, here's some of NPR's reporting.
The employees grew concerned that the NLRB's confidential data could be exposed, particularly after they started detecting suspicious login attempts from an IP address in Russia, according to the disclosure. Eventually, the disclosure continued, the IT department launched a formal review of what it deemed a serious, ongoing security breach or potentially illegal removal of personally identifiable information. The whistleblower believes that the suspicious activity warrants further investigation by agencies with more resources, like the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency or the FBI. The labor law experts interviewed by NPR fear that if the data gets out, it could be abused, including by private companies with cases before the agency that might get insights into damaging testimony, union leadership, legal strategies, and internal data on competitors, Musk's SpaceX among them. It could also intimidate whistleblowers who might speak up about unfair labor practices, and it could sow distrust in the NLRB's independence, they said.
Yeah, seems bad. The new revelations about Doge's activities at the labor agency come from a whistleblower in the IT department of the NLRB, who disclosed his concerns to Congress and the U.S. Office of Special Counsel in a detailed report that was then provided to NPR. Meanwhile, his attempts to raise concerns internally within the NLRB preceded someone physically taping a threatening note to his door that included sensitive personal information and overhead photos of him walking his dog that appeared to be taken with a drone, according to a cover letter attached to his disclosure filed by his attorney, Andrew Bakaj of the nonprofit Whistleblower Aid. Holy fucking shit.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's very threatening.
Yeah, I mean,
that's very intentionally intimidating.
Hats off to this guy for seeing that and being like, now I'm gonna blow the whistle twice as hard.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, at that point, you got it.
Yeah, at that point you gotta, because it's like, well, if I
Otherwise,
end
you
up,
are living in fear forever.
yeah,
You need the protection of going public with it.
yeah. Anyway, the article, it's long. It goes into a lot of really technical detail on all of this. If you're interested in that, you can read links down below. But basically, what Doge came in and did at the NLRB looks a lot like what a malicious state-sponsored hack would look like. They made off with a shitload of highly sensitive information that could be harmful both to workers and to companies. And none of the experts that NBR spoke to can come up with a single legit reason why they would need to or even want to do any of this.
Yeah, I would assume that the reasons are nefarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with
efficiency or,
Yeah, this is, you're just stealing highly sensitive data from a government agency with no oversight, not even any tracking of what specific data you took.
Personal and intimate details of American citizens.
Yeah, they said it's like somewhere around 10 gigs, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's all text.
Yeah.
And it's enough text to like fill up a wall encyclopedia that has like 26 volumes or whatever. It's a lot of information. And they're like, we don't know what they took. They're worried that while they were in there, if they left any back doors open, they're like, they could have.
Yeah,
they had like admin level access.
Did NPR also have the list where it's just dozens of things that they had potential access to by going in?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was kind of what we already talked about, but in further detail. It's literally some scary shit. And again, like everything Elon does, seems to be pretty targeted at his enemies.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not nefarious, there are people's social security numbers in there. Like, it's just data that it requires sensitivity. Yeah, like we just don't give this to people.
And they didn't even give it to him. They came in and took it.
Yeah, like at the NLRB, apparently they're like, the information is here on our servers. It never comes in or out. It's like most of the time not even connected to the internet. When people have a case with us, they'll come in and we'll give them the data like personally, but it's they've never seen anything like this happen before. Troubling, concerning. Looking into this, please look into it.
Meanwhile, it is frustrating that anyone is even pretending that any of what Doge is doing is about efficiency when it's been clear from the jump that it's just not. But to underline all of that, here is USA Today. Elon Musk said he anticipates the Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to slash waste and fraud from the federal government will cut $150 billion in spending over the next fiscal year, appearing to dramatically lower much loftier projections he previously touted. Wait, Elon Musk going back on something that he promised? I'm shocked.
No, we're reading this from our base up on Mars.
That's right.
Like he said we would be.
And you know how I got
15 years ago.
My car drove me to the launch pad, and I walked in and took a tourism flight to Mars.
That's right. Just like he said we'd be doing in the year of our Lord, 2025.
My robot butler was so wonderful the entire time. Musk, the billionaire tech entrepreneur who oversees Doge, provided the update during an April 10th cabinet meeting convened by President Donald Trump. I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in fiscal year 26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. Musk, seated at a table with cabinet secretaries, told Trump. And I mean, some of it is just absurd. Like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't even been born yet. The 2026 fiscal year runs from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. While campaigning for Trump during the 2024 presidential race, Musk talked about cutting $2 trillion from the government. He lowered the goal to $1 trillion after Trump assumed office. And as recently as a March 27th interview on Fox News, Musk said he was on pace to eliminate $1 trillion in federal spending by the end of May.
It's just a few zeros.
Yeah.
So yeah, first off, it is worth mentioning that the amounts of money that Doge claims to be saving are frequently, regularly found to be very inaccurate and based on faulty data. But even if the $150 billion figure ends up somehow being accurate, that means that all of the cuts made across every agency of the U.S. government adds up to around 2% of the U.S. annual budget.
You did it, sir. And for what?
We don't have national parks or health or
we no longer help anyone around the world. We are now going to be using our beautiful national forests for logging wood that is not good for creating things that people need. But, we're going to do it anyway.
We're cutting it down.
And you're going to be thanking us. Please say thank you when you find out that we have saved 2%.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's our 2 cents.
Yeah. But sorry to break this to you. We're in the process of approving more than $150 billion for immigration and deportation. So there you go, folks. Hope everyone's happy.
So when you look at the stuff that's been cut to save that measly 2%, the takeaway should be that the U.S. government was already pretty goddamn efficient.
Yeah.
None of that stuff was costing all that much. We got a hell of a lot out of it.
Yeah, I feel like I got a decent amount.
We've crippled the entire government to save almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
$150 billion, it comes out to around $441 per person in the U.S., which you're never getting back. Mm-hmm. But even if you were, it would be just a fraction of what most people got during COVID when they sent those stimulus checks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impressive. Elon Musk is destroying the U.S. government for what amounts to pocket change.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to watch as it happens.
He's tearing the copper out of the walls.
But I wish we could finally move on from Elon, but unfortunately this week we got yet another highly revealing, in-depth article about him. And this next one from the Wall Street Journal has nothing to do with what we've covered so far and everything to do with the fact that he has a breeder fetish and genuinely wants to populate the world with as many offspring as possible. So yes, it is going to get gross. You already survived the jar jokes and everything, so buckle up even further. Now, before we ruin your day with all that, don't worry. We're getting the sponsors out, baby. It's a safe zone right now.
Yeah.
We're safe. All right, Turtle Beach. Thank you, Turtle Beach. Path of Exile. I'm actually playing it. I'm not paying someone else to play it for me.
Wow.
It sounds beautiful in these Turtle Beach headphones. So, of course, you remember the first time that you booted up your video games for the first time, those late night sessions with your friends, the epic wins, the sounds of that lobby filling up. Gaming wasn't just something you did, it was a whole experience. And the right headset made all the difference. Turtle Beach is bringing back that feeling with the Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset. It is like stepping into the golden age of gaming all over again. Only this time, the audio is richer, the surround sound is more immersive, and the battery lasts an insane 80 hours. No more crackly mics, no more missed callouts, just pure, uninterrupted gaming. Exactly the way you remember it, but better. For a limited time only, get 10% off your entire order with our code NEWSDAY at turtlebeach.com. Don't miss out. Stay warm and level up your game with 10% off at turtlebeach.com using promo code NEWSDAY.
We've both been rocking this headset for a while now, and not only is it super comfortable, not only does the sound quality definitely give you an edge, the battery life's insane. It's so nice having a wireless headset that you almost never have to even think about charging. And we've all got that one friend whose headset always seems to die right when you're down to the last two teams. Jordan. But Turtle Beach's Stealth 700 headset has an insane 80-hour battery life with quick charge, so you rarely have to think about charging it. And the Stealth 700 has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. That means you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and PC with just a click of a button. And it gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, all done with the Stealth 700.
Luckily for Elliot, his favorite game and his favorite song are both Balatro.
That's right.
And with these headsets, he can hear that Wheel of Fortune card coming.
I can hear it.
The footsteps. Turtle Beach doesn't just have amazing headsets. They have every gaming accessory you could ever want, and they're all high quality at prices that won't break the bank. From flight and racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach is the ultimate gaming cheat code. So head to turtlebeach.com and use code NEWSDAY for 10% off your entire order. That is 10% off your whole order at turtlebeach.com with promo code NEWSDAY. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Hey, tell them we sent you. Please support the show. Tell them that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
And this episode is sponsored by Huel, a great product if you're like us and get so caught up in all of this nonsense that you sometimes forget to eat. And Huel is offering 15% off to our viewers at huel.com/technewsday15 with the code technewsday15. You finding it difficult to find time for a complete balanced meal? That's where Huel, spelled H-U-E-L, comes in. Their Black Edition Ready to Drink is a complete meal in a bottle, full of 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, and low in sugar, all in one handy bottle. Huel is the global complete nutrition brand with over 500 million meals sold. You can find Huel in GNC stores, on Amazon, or directly at Huel.com. And for new customers shopping at Huel.com, you can try it for 15% off plus a free gift using our exclusive code TechNewsDay15 at Huel.com.
When I'm up editing into the wee hours of the morning, if the wind is just right, you can stick your ear out the window and you can hear me across the city saying, I need Huel! I need Huel! And then I chug one.
Yeah.
And then
Give me Huel, give me Huel, give me Huel, give me Huel.
Give me Huel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Huel is the perfectly balanced meal. It's designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs from a meal. Huel takes the guesswork out of healthy eating. It's for your most inconvenient meals with no prep, no cooking. Say goodbye to getting hangry and unsatisfying snacks. Just grab a Huel instead. They taste so good. Huel shakes, they actually taste like a milkshake, and they come in delicious chocolate or vanilla. Bonus, they're low in sugar. And lastly, Huel is incredibly affordable. With high-protein meals less than $5, it's a budget-friendly option that we are genuinely excited about. Now, my personal favorite is the Black Edition Ready to Drink. It's got a whopping 35 grams of proteins plus 27 vitamins and minerals all in one handy bottle. Access to quality, quick, and easy meals hasn't been this easy and tasted this good since ever. So join the community of Hueligans with this exclusive offer for new customers of 15% off plus a free gift using our exclusive code TechNewsDay15 at Huel.com. That's 15% off plus a free gift for new customers using our code TechNewsDay15 at Huel.com. See the description for terms and conditions. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
Okay, back to the news. And
Supper's over.
yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
Well, this Wall Street Journal article about Elon's constant search for new birthing vessels is a doozy. We already know about 14 kids that he's had with 4 different women, the latest of which was with conservative influencer Ashley St. Clair. And the messy details that have been revealed about that whole situation seem to indicate that there may, in fact, be a lot more secret Elon babies out there that we don't know about. Because the only reason we know about her is they had a deal to keep that kid quiet. And she feels that Elon violated the terms of that deal.
Yeah.
So she went public. How many more are out there?
Time will tell.
So let's just get into this. Musk refers to his offspring as a legion, a reference to the ancient military units that could contain thousands of soldiers and were key to extending the reach of the Roman Empire. During St. Clair's pregnancy, Musk suggested that they bring in other women to have even more of their children faster. To reach legion level before the apocalypse, he said to St. Clair in a text message viewed by the Wall Street Journal, we will need to use surrogates. He has recruited potential mothers on his social media platform X, according to some of the people. In 2023, he had a meeting in Austin where people he described as Japanese officials asked him to be a sperm donor for a high-profile woman, according to a text message reviewed by the Journal. They want me to be a sperm donor. No romance or anything, just sperm. He texted St. Clair. Musk later told her he gave his sperm to the person who asked for it, without naming the woman.
It's all, and specifically the way he talks about all this.
Sperm.
It's so unsettling and gross and disgusting and unhuman-like.
Yeah, it is. It's anti-human.
Yeah, it's strange in a way that
It's like the way an alien in human clothing would talk about reproduction because they're not interested in it for any other purpose than populating the world with more alien infiltrators.
I think it goes a little bit further than that. He clearly seems obsessed with semen.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about getting them pregnant. He would say that.
He's got jizz on the brain.
He constantly refers to it as his sperm.
Yeah.
Which I find odd because he could just say like, oh, I'm repopulating or I'm getting someone pregnant or whatever.
Sperm.
But he's like, I delivered my sperm to her.
I have more sperm.
And I'm not going to tell you how.
Ladies, I have he has to have a special fridge for his cum.
Yeah, that's the cum fridge. It's the one in the garage. Anyways, here's one example they managed to dig up about Elon sliding into women's DMs, offering them his cum. While Musk posts sometimes dozens of times a day on X about right-wing politics or his companies, among other things on his mind, he often interacts with lesser-known users. He replies to them and sometimes interacts through direct messages. some of whom he eventually solicits to have his baby, according to people who have viewed the messages. Cryptocurrency influencer Tiffany Fong was covering disgraced crypto tycoon Sam Bankman-Fried's downfall when Musk started liking and replying to her posts. Musk's interactions ramped up as Fong posted more political content in support of Trump, and Musk followed her last summer. That sort of attention from Musk on X, where he has 219 million followers, sent droves of followers to Fong, which was a financial boon. More engagement meant more earnings for her as part of a revenue-sharing program for creators on X.
During the height of her interactions with the billionaire owner, Fong earned $21,000 on the platform in a 2-week period in November, according to a screenshot she posted. That was about when Musk sent her a direct message asking if she was interested in having his child, according to people familiar with the matter. The two had never met in person. Fong didn't move forward with Musk because she pictured having children in a more traditional nuclear family, but confided to a few friends about the approach, including St. Clair, whom she knew as another conservative social media figure, and how she worried that turning him down could hurt her earnings. Once Musk learned that Fong disclosed the request to others, he chided her for not using discretion, according to the people, and unfollowed her. That contributed to a fall in her engagement, and her earnings declined.
God.
So he met this girl. I mean, because this is what happened.
He didn't meet her.
Well, but like Ashley St. Clair, he also met in DMs.
Yeah.
And Grimes, he met in DMs. I forgot about that.
I mean, a lot of people do. But it is even weirder when the guy who owns the website is doing it.
People sliding in each other's DMs to hook up, not to like look for new breeding vessels.
The other thing
for
is
their sperm.
The other thing that's like really unsettling about this is that, like, I'm not saying he's done it, but clearly he has access to all of these people's direct messages.
Well, I don't know if this is true. I saw today, in the middle of all this, after the story dropped, that now they're suddenly talking about getting rid of Twitter DMs, which may be for the best.
Sure. They'll make it a premium and charge.
He's definitely looking at them.
Yeah. Burchell was involved in acquiring the property for a compound in Austin where Musk imagined the women and his growing number of babies would all live among multiple residences, according to a person familiar with the matter. He is involved in other property deals across Musk's different businesses. Zillis lives in the gated community with their children, and Musk comes and goes. Musk also attempted to get Grimes to move to the compound, but she refused. Similarly, he tried to get St. Clair to spend some time in Austin with our Kid Legion, according to a text he sent her.
Yeah, so Burchell, that's the guy that runs like Elon's home office. Yeah. He's his money man and fixer. He's the guy who's always on the phone with baby mamas, like trying to work out a deal for their silence. Yeah, and Zillis is the one who, like, this Neuralink employee that she's apparently his like main his main mother right now. He like brings her to events and stuff.
Was Burchell the one that, like, when Ashley St. Clair said that she wasn't going to sign the NDA or something like that, he was like, "Do you understand how important this man is?"
Yeah, that's in there.
They came for Trump, and he's next in line.
So the funniest thing about, I believe it's Jared Burchell. The funniest thing about him is he's Mormon. He's a family man, and so like every day he goes to work and is involved in this immoral fucking bullshit.
Extramarital.
He's a Mormon. He's a Mormon with one wife, working for an atheist with dozens of children with dozens of women. It's just kind of ironic.
At this point, I think atheist is a stretch. I think he's turning into a.
I don't think he believes in fucking anything.
No, but he likes to use it for his advantage.
Sure, but so does Trump.
Yeah. But while she was pregnant, Musk had urged her to deliver the baby via cesarean section and told her he didn't want the child to be circumcised.
This is St. Clair he's talking about. No circumcision. I'm an intactivist too.
Musk has posted on X that vaginal births limit brain size.
Shut the fuck up.
And that C-sections allow for larger brains.
Oh my God, this guy's a fucking idiot.
St. Clair is Jewish, and circumcisions are an important ritual in the religion, and she decided against a C-section. He told her she should have 10 babies, and they debated the child's middle name.
10 babies.
Maybe 20.
Yeah, the whole C-section live birth brain size thing is that's not fucking true.
No.
I'm sorry. That's such a like guy thing to think though. The same way like giving birth vaginally like wears you out. You'll just be flopping around for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I wanted you to keep it tight. I don't want to have to stitch you up. Not down there.
Anyway, yeah, there's lots more in that article, but I mean, you get the gist. The guy's a real fucking freak.
Yeah, it gives me a sick feeling like I've drank rancid milk.
Yeah, it's not fun. I think that's enough news for today, for now.
Yeah, I guess.
There was more going on. There's always more going on, but I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I've heard about Elon's sperm too much.
We got more. We got a news dump coming up, and apparently not to be outdone by the Willy Wonka experience, Mr. Beast was like, you know what? I think I gotta get in on that.
Well, it's just Beast Burger, but now in live event form.
Yeah.
Remember Beast Burger?
Who could forget Beast Burger?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be more to talk about, but
Lots more.
Yeah, we'll be back soon. In the meantime, did you hear? A couple ladies went to space. Pretty cool, huh? One of them is gonna write a song about it. You can check out that video.
At least one of them.
And a whole bunch more, including it's old now, but some updates on Abreu Garcia, who still hasn't been spoken with.
Well, did you know that he's the leader of MS-13?
According to
and
Pam
also
Bondi, yeah.
he's a terrorist. She just keeps breaking news.
Yeah, it keeps adding on to it.
He was also flying Flight 93 when it crashed. Yeah.
A Democratic senator went down there and they wouldn't let him into the
Right, because it's not U.S. territory. Why would you come down to El Salvador?
What do you mean Nikki Haley was just down here taking pictures? It's very frustrating, but yes, we have those videos for you to watch. We'll have more coming soon. Stay tuned. Please like the video.
Please.
Click the join button. Click the loin button. Click the join button and leave a comment. We'll be back soon. So there you go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Was good.
TACOM, Klaus requesting COAV.
Decoy incoming. How's it feel? Not good, right?
Target's eliminated.
Shit, I fucked this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, that was messy. That was messy. I should have fixed these settings before I started streaming. Okay, I think we're good now. So, what? 1.5 million views? I looked at this fucking like 6 hours ago and it was at 40,000 views and now it's at 1.5 million in 9 hours. Okay, so this is a serious thing then. Why weren't you guys why did no one make me aware of this at all? Why did no one make me aware of this? No, I'm just kidding. So we can watch this. What I want to do though, Ian making cops everywhere. Yeah, is this just propaganda, guys? Is this just like pro cop media that we're going to watch? Is this gonna make me like cops if we watch this? So what I want to do though is I do want to watch the content cop, but I want to start off by watching the H3 podcast episode and kind of like work our way into it, seeing Ethan Klein's reaction to this. So we're gonna start off with Ethan Klein's reaction. Do they have timestamps regarding today's title? Content cop on Ethan drops talking to Hila, watching the video. Oh, so he watches the entire thing. Okay. So let's just like start at the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the H3 podcast. Thank you for tuning in on another beautiful Wednesday. I would like to introduce to the ring. Please welcome.
Grenade inbound.
Not to say don't crash into the tape. You didn't say
I thought it was implied.
You said
I
don't.
thought it was like fairly implied.
You said don't come charging over the.
Well, I made a specific point about the cables because I was concerned about the cables, and I do appreciate that you were very cautious on the first one. However, you did then bolt across the room and try and run over AB.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the.
He only watches 14
Yeah,
minutes
I
of
think
it.
the big one is the most.
It starts at 57 minutes and it ends at 3 hours. How does he only watch 14 minutes of it? It says watching the video. Okay, whatever. Wait, so fucking Do Not Worry podcast got a shout out on this content cop, but yours truly was ignored? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to be streaming more consistently, guys. This is getting ridiculous. I recommend watching his reaction to finding out it's on him. The 3 hour reaction is only to 15 minutes. It's only to 15 minutes? Wow, that's next level pausing. I thought I paused a lot, but like I did 20 minutes on like an 80-second clip. Man, the scooter bit always gets me laughing. I just finished watching it. Ian was very charitable to Ethan, much more than he deserved. I don't think iDubbbz is scared of me. Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit in, just because I find their banter just so utterly boring.
Kill confirmed.
Oh my god.
Oh my! You guys, it's way too.
Well, we weren't ready. We weren't ready, but we're ready now. We're good. And we're going to take a look
64
today.
degrees.
We are not interested in the weather. We are going to take a look at some traffic. Let's take a look at Kansas City. That's right,
Hey.
Kansas City. What state is Kansas City here in, Ethan? A little pop quiz for you. Geography quiz.
I know what it is.
What state is it? Huh?
It's below Oklahoma.
It's below Oklahoma.
Ellen, I hope it's worth watching 5 times because I'm sorry that I did not stream earlier.
Is that right? It's not. That's actually incorrect. It's in Missouri.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You're going to have to brush up a little bit.
Oh my god.
Are there interstate named Kansas? Let's see. Are we doing B that everybody knows a pedophile, but just
Nah, we ain't doing that.
how do you know? I mean, you probably do. You just don't know who they are.
Nah.
But what's the other part?
Nah.
What's the other part?
Everybody know a pedophile.
I shifted back from.
I think you call them a circuit breaker or something. That was
Is it good?
Yeah.
So we ordered a new one. I fixed the old one. So
So we
now
didn't
got
get
a
the new
spare
one.
part in the
Wow.
front.
Oh, is Ethan pausing to actually just fish for compliments from his crew? Because if so, that makes it even funnier. Because like I know I pause a lot and I repeat myself a lot, but I feel like I'm trying to make substantial points, and if Ethan's just pausing and being like just fishing for his crew to step in, that's pretty funny.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I'll tell you.
And then of course new batteries also.
That was the main issue. Yeah, the battery.
the battery.
No, not the main issue.
Was it the battery?
No, the battery is the product.
Guess who's back, asshole?
Like right through the whole thing on the product.
Was that helpful?
It's built in Switzerland.
Swiss made.
Is this
Yo, Swiss made.
is this old man like the other guy's dad? Did they just bring his dad on the show, or is he just a random guy?
Now you're dead.
I mean, ironically,
See how that works?
in unison.
It's all trained, dude.
Holy shit.
On Gatsby's preferably, obviously.
Well, that's
Only the best of the
gonna be
best.
expensive.
Yeah, only the best of the best for this group.
Well, will you bring the Gatsby and all of us drive the normal
Well,
ones?
we only need one locomotive.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
That's the front train car.
The Gatsby is surprisingly hard to find a rental on. I remember looking once. I'm trying to rent
They're
the
still on
Gatsby.
sale.
Yeah, who would buy that to rent it? Well, so this,
fell off.
yeah, he even gave us advice. He says there's a scooter places nearby that people rent from and have it delivered to Disney. We have a partnership with them, and he even recommended a place for us to contact and reserve the scooters.
Oh, I didn't realize he had a contact.
Yeah,
I didn't know he went that far.
He was dead serious. He's in. So that's kind of my dream. I think we need to do that before I die.
Oh, look at this. You know what? I take it back. I totally forgot about the third movie with all the trains in the Old West and stuff.
It is his dad.
It's a little forgettable. That third Back to the Future. It's a little forgettable.
Honestly,
compared to the other two.
I think it's better than people give it credit for. I've seen
I
it.
don't think it's bad, but I think forgettable is a very fair criticism. How much do you really remember of it?
I remember everything.
I remember a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I remember the first two super well, but
Someone wants to kill dog?
Yeah, because like apparently he was like fucking his girl or something.
Okay, I feel like we're about to get to where Ethan actually finds out that he's just gotten copped or he's gotten arrested by iDubbbz. I feel like we're about to get to that point, so just bear with it for a while more. And I'm trying to fucking find that Reddit post that you mentioned, Gianna Blue. I'm trying to find that.
$5 for the whiskey, $75 for the horseshoes.
$80.
He's fucking on his girl.
All right, I'll slow this down a little bit because I did have it at 1.5 speed, 1.25.
So this guy wanted to assassinate Doc, and they had to escape before he died.
Right.
And they used the train to push the car fast enough.
maybe this is maybe it was actually an early warning sign of my apathy towards Westerns. Because it's the only one that's Western theme, and I can't be bothered.
Well,
Can't be
you're not
bothered to
wrong.
care about it.
I mean, like, I think legacy-wise, you're probably technically right that most people don't care about the third one that much. But for whatever reason, that one stuck with me, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So at any rate, also, who made that meme?
That would be Tall Skeleton,
Tall Skeleton.
who happens
Zane
to be joining
friend of
us
the show.
in person. Wow. Oh, and he's out of focus.
Whoa, that's weird.
We can't hear you.
He doesn't. He's not actually blurry in real life.
He's mute.
I promise. Yeah.
Mute.
Tall Skelly, I'm a huge fan of your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You too.
Oh my gosh, Josh, thank you.
Zane is visiting from out of state.
You're working on a project out here, right?
Yeah, I'm doing some filming for my channel. I just interviewed Joel.
He buttons A, B. This is, I mean, Seinfeld is an entertaining show about nothing. This is a show about nothing without any kind of like effort put into it whatsoever.
Haver yesterday, he was like a really awesome YouTuber.
Oh, I love
filmmaker.
him. He's the
And,
animator, right?
Yeah, and he also makes like feature films on YouTube, which is crazy. And so we were kind of talking about that and just doing some other stuff also. while
Nice.
here. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's Zane, everybody.
A Zane.
Tall
Zane-
Skeleton.
Zane Train.
Visiting from out of state.
Wow.
Love to see
Special. Very special.
it. Love to see it, guys. As you can tell, we're having, seems like the vibes are decent today, but I haven't broken the news at this point.
Right.
That, what's the title?
I'm quitting YouTube is
No, I would reworded it.
I honestly have been really anxious about it all morning because, you know, it's like all
That's so funny. So the original title to the stream was "I'm quitting YouTube," and in the last title was what? The last title was like "Goodbye AB." Like they're really, I mean, is this just a cry for help for views? For them to like do clickbaiting stuff? Secret recording of Twitch CEO leaked. Is this the end for Twitch? Goodbye AB. And then it was supposed to be "I'm quitting YouTube." Holy shit, dude. Like, honestly, Ethan Klein starting beef with Hassan was, I mean, it revitalized his career, at least for a little bit. I don't think it's sustainable in any way, but it is giving him some short-term attention.
let's sort of financially rely on the show to continue to make a living, pay our bills and stuff. So when you just send me a message at 4 in the morning that says, "Hey, I'm quitting," with no follow-up, it's a little, I feel like we deserve a little bit better of an explanation.
Well, should we do like a regular show just to kind of keep the vibes up, or like at the end of the show? Because if I don't know.
Well, you saying that makes me feel like it's probably not great news. And honestly, if I could beat traffic
for the last time. You sure you want to get out of here so soon? You're not going to get your regular day rate if you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if it's GG, I don't necessarily feel the need to stick around. Probably just
okay, well, it's more about the audience, Dan. It's not really about you.
Who cares about that?
Dan, if this is your last day, could I just clean you up just a tiny bit? If this is our last.
Clean me up?
I don't know. Just hold on. Your wig, it has so much potential. You could be. Give me a second.
Olivia is stepping up to the plate. She is criticized Dan's headwear.
Hey, me outs. Happy to see you here.
Olivia, that's for girls. Ow, ow. She stabbed me.
Dan.
Oh my god.
Turn to the side,
you
please,
look so
Dan.
pretty. Sorry, that's all I wanted. I had to be a stage mom.
Did that really
for 2
fix
seconds.
it, you think?
Not yet.
You're gay, dude.
You're gay.
Whatever.
This dude's got bows in his hair, yo!
Dude, now you really look like the Wendy's girl. Wait, it's kind of exposing his scalp.
Dan has
Come on,
bows.
what are you doing?
Still, it's still kind of.
You even know what you're doing?
Dan has bows in his hair.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
He's jiggling about.
I'm just making sure that it's secure.
Come on, like, okay, so this is regarding today's title. I'm gonna skip it a little bit then, because if this was supposed to be the other title, then we can skip through this.
You ready?
Trip cord.
Why are they platforming these guys? Like, holy fuck, it's so embarrassing. Ethan did a content nuke about these guys, and now he's like listening to them and giving us updates on their show on every single episode. It's just like really embarrassing stuff. Okay, guys, I do want to play this one little clip because I saw some of you guys were like, "Oh, he's just criticizing leftists so much." This is Kyle Kalinske. This is completely unrelated to Ethan Klein, and yet it is 100% applicable to him.
All right, y'all. I've been warning everybody about this for a long time. I mean, my ass has been Paul Revere on YouTube saying, Bill Maher's going full MAGA, dog. He's going full MAGA. He can't stop himself. He's got that big contrarian streak in him, and he hyper-focuses. This is what happens, man. It's when these people start hyper-focusing on whatever disagreements they have with the left are, you know, it's only... That train is never late. It's only a matter of time until the mask comes off. So let me walk you.
Yeah, and so he's talking about Bill Maher here because Bill Maher was talking about how people are too woke and how the leftists have gone too far and they're purity testing everything. And I'm like, does that sound like anyone else that I've been covering on my YouTube channel? So according to Kyle Kalinske, and I tend to agree with him, it's only a matter of time before Ethan Klein is like, I'm a centrist, or the left has just gone way too far. They're like this super left. They're the max left. He joins Janky Uger with they're the max left. I'm the regular left.
Hello?
Leading up to this, riveting stuff.
Yeah. I'm locked in. Tripcord. When is he going to show?
It's really monumental.
Got video.
Yo,
Yeah, what's going on?
yo, I was just gonna say, I think Jason Nash, that's actually
just came in.
a pretty good idea. It would be
As a
pretty
new
good content.
As a new person on Lolcow?
Jason Nash, tell me about it.
I don't know who that is.
Becky really sealed it.
So Keem just gets up without saying anything and runs out of the room, which is the guy's a human being. He didn't say anything, which is kind of what you'd expect for someone that
Deal for
cares.
that, right? And then a lot of the other people we've had in, whether it was Foodie Beauty, they like, for example, they didn't work, but they brought in a whole new group of people that was really a lot of fun to hang out with,
He's
right?
back.
And so my thought process is
Holy fuck, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about these fucking losers?
It's,
Like, what, they got rid of a domestic abuser on their show, and now the Kleins are like, oh, the magic's not the same without him. But they're obviously horrible people, so don't watch it, even though I watch it and I give you updates on it. But don't watch it. They're all horrible people.
It's heartbreaking. My best.
Yeah, it's sad.
The best goes to you, Keemstar. Just remember, they're all waiting for us in heaven. All of our doggies that we ever knew and loved. They're all waiting.
What are you talking about? Is Ethan actually like a religious person now? Because I'm pretty sure like Jews and Catholics don't believe that animals have souls. I'm pretty sure they say that all dogs do not go to heaven. Actually, no dogs go to heaven. Is he like an actual religious person now? This is taking a turn.
Who put that as number one?
I'm sorry.
Is that you?
No, well...
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, let's just say it was me. Because I went over the doc and I kind of sorted it. I didn't really think about that. Well, it just, we were talking about it last night. We all felt bad for him.
I didn't ask you to tell me the biggest fucking bummer news in the world.
That's perfect. Okay. What's next? You're fucking, what's next? Someone you love has cancer and is
When
dying?
something really, really bad is going on in your life, and in a public forum, someone asks you, hey, what's up, how are you? There are two acceptable responses. Good.
Follow-up question.
There you go.
I'll make it through. Be like, why? What's going on?
Awesome. Love to hear it.
What a stupid asshole that guy is. Okay, well, geez. What happened? There's more bad news?
I do have some more bad news for you. Some breaking news. Your old friend iDubbbz just released a video.
Yeah.
It's about you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. That is no, it can't be.
Well.
It actually can't be. Holy fuck, dude.
It sure is.
Oh my.
Wait, how did Ethan like not know it was going to be about him? Like, weren't there rumors that the content nuke was going to be about, or that the content cop was going to be about iDubbbz, or iDubbbz's video was going to be about Ethan Klein? Like, I saw a rumor about that before it was even released. It's like, I think maybe in like a YouTube drama or something, r/YouTube drama. Like, he had to know that it was about him. Apparently, iDubbbz worked with like a bunch of different people. According to iDubbbz, let me just search.
Destination, the beach is surprisingly dangerous. Consider the
fucking thing in our defense, like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
What we do here is go back.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Awesome broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's content nuke, and I'm not going to call it context puke as I normally do because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How? Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up. Ethan, wake up. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up. Wake up. Since anyone, just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not going to do a react content yet, chat.
I'm listening. Nobody's telling you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra hummus.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Just wake up.
All right. I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content cop, iDubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, the dancing invented was so big.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that may be a war crime. It literally is.
Was just eating the toppings out. The pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021. It's insensitive to burn.
I think that's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know. We don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer. So this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb.
Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits.
And everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Millhouse, fucking dork. Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful, fucking. And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people, not go there.
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like iDubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. And also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H Street fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that iDubbbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the 2 podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and iDubbbz's feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not gonna throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not gonna throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
How many women I fucked? Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you've said and done. And I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. but he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
And
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of Satan?
It's disgusting.
And
a piece of shit of a human.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times because like why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
Man, like just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
Her dad,
yeah.
Which I'll show.
Denims
Denims is actually participating in this whole child protective service lie.
Yeah.
Which I'll
and if
show
you're
you guys.
friends with them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking, you're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the devil.
The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore. But that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't
Okay, do you have anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Like, they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view on Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself, in terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend, because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist. Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt, and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying, fuck you, you guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, you know, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back to Hassan just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza until I found out it's dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid
I'll show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for saying
But that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is clean, they're, they're actually good people, like that's gonna get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's difficult and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes standing by your principles admirable, is that it's not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, like, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan. Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane, comment etiquette. Oh shit, Asmongold's in here. Asmongold follows Frogan. No, Asmon. That means you're anti-Ethan. That's fucked up. We're gonna wanna avoid these creators at the top of the list, but one tier below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all of their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hassan's in there. You'd think that Hassan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hassan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a blind eye to people collaborating with Hassan because that's what he did. You gotta be the lowest of the low to be associating with the Frogans and the Denims of the world. To associate with Hassan, that just makes sense because he's famous and he's got a massive fan base. Also, Ethan still follows Hassan on Instagram, so Hassan is in his feed.
And that's showing up right up on Anissa's and iDubbbz's feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hassan but are still anti-Ethan, but Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A lot of them are famous. It's no coincidence that Ethan stays silent when these powerful, popular men are supporting Hassan. It's because Ethan is a coward. He's a bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an unreasonable amount of respect for these comedians because they have power, they're quick, and I think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But he's gonna keep that to himself because the last thing that he wants to discover is that people that he respects and looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking show. It was just horrible. That was like my lowest moment on podcast history. We could talk about Bill Burr, ruined my life. Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hassan's stream and he mocks your content nuke.
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being here anymore.
Oh no.
It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that. And I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
You don't fire back because you're coping. So you're just going to tuck your tail between your legs and never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing up some fucking connection I have on Twitter. Someone mocks you on a stream, you're not touching it. Fuck you, you're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know, he makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right? Oh, also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. Although he's sniffing around.
This guy, Matt Lieb, who works for Good Mythical Morning. Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer for Good Mythical Morning. This guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and he's bringing on somebody that wants to kill my wife, or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic. And he interviewed basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons I made this video in the first place, is because he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way to attack, he thinks that they're weak, and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to. And I want him to know that we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit, and we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video, and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want to. But shit, like, how pathetic are you? Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I don't like pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. Yeah. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You'll be living with your parents for a lot longer now. Yes, please, I want to be a good Jew. I'm a good Jew. Please, guys, please.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it was that
fine.
big a deal. Of all the things, it always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
Well, I looked at Olivia and she's like, yes, do it.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Dan and Hila were like, we would kill button that right now if we could. I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses the button for everything. If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if this the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure about getting something wrong, he's hitting the button.
But okay.
What? What on this frame could Ethan have responded to? Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I don't think he's unique in hitting the button. I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
I've been diagnosed with goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin mode.
I do not call myself goblin mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now? To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue an apology.
Well, you got goblin mode today. You're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused.
I'm trying, bro.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode. I like the idea that you're defending yourself and the little guy by going goblin mode when a big corporation or a big entity is trying to attack you.
Like, if you fuck me over, if you steal money from me, if you patronize me, if you do any of this shit like you're trying to do to me, to treat me like a fucking idiot, I'm crazy, dude. I've gone fucking goblin mode over way less.
But you not thinking about what you're saying, not, you know, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior, that's not goblin mode. That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew has been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast. Every crew member has it bad. Like, to be around Ethan, period, would be a nightmare right now.
I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay? What she did was abhorrent. And by the way,
just dumb. Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just, you know, people are sensitive about women being called that word, and so.
Like, how pathetic are you? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns.
And fuck all these people. Go ahead.
And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just.
Kelly is a black woman, right?
Yes.
Maziel is a
Korean.
Oh, Dan, come on. You're being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I didn't know Korean. I asked if Koreans are POs. God.
You know, Dan's in the bathroom. Let's just not do this right now.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking that the internet was going to hear it, it was rude, it was nasty, and it didn't have this caveat of like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
They get access to cover most of it.
Doing it.
What are you doing?
So awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like, this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro.
Oh, no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday.
You guys, like.
All right, I'm taking my hand off the. What? Okay, well,
heard all that.
Thanks, button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it. He immediately wanted to deflect, and he wanted to say that the button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
it makes it.
I was being selfish.
No, dude, that button me, dude. Can you imagine that button me over like that?
The button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
We're doing it.
What are you doing?
So awkward and terrible. I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke. Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that. They thought that was what you searched.
I did not type
photo, so I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate you doing that. God forbid.
It's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
it's not that big of a deal, man.
Just like your inability to.
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well,
you just asked how it changed.
Surprise them on your show.
Okay, all right.
You know, I understand that that's his role, and he's, you know, Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily. In the same way that he leans on the button, Ethan is leaning on all of these people to be adults and look after his behavior and give all of this emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, two Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Hezbollah in Syria alone killed double that much. All right, I'm gonna move on. I just want to play Hassan talking about bad empanada.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more important that he gets this shit off his chest. It's more important that he dumps. We're all familiar with Goblin mode. Well, Ethan debuted a new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like, I'm looking at like 20 Goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes Demon mode different than Goblin mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
Ethan, the reason the internet got behind you when you were being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because people saw you as the underdog. They saw you as the guy who's defending the common man.
I'm suing, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing 3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad, you feel hurt, but you also have a surplus of money. So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power, you have a ton of options, you have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich, is you can do all of these things.
I've never want to sue someone for defamation, but like at what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like basically someone calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, you know, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and being
pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise above to make it like actionable, which is like wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy now, in other words, he is a pedophile.
You have so much less to go off of saying that than anybody has about Dream.
Based on his looks. Just based on his
Well, at least you're self-aware.
That's 100% a joke. I have no evidence to conclude that he is.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Samson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking about Noah on his podcast is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape. So of course his standard. I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say. But
Ethan brought on a former partner of Noah to basically just shit talk him and say that he's a bad partner. But that's all that Ethan was able to extract out of it.
You are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah Samson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Samson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the left-leaning Democrat.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to Sam Cedar, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to.
He works with Sam Cedar at the Majority Report. I respect him and what they do there.
He kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Cedar. There are very thoughtful, very kind Zionist Jews out there that he could talk to, I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews at large view it. I don't think that is the.
In what position are you to even say that?
It was not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist
No,
Jews.
seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said in this conversation that, like, how can you tell me how to feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person representative of Jews at large? I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan, on occasion you might be suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover with you. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity. It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender. I think Ethan understands this concept very well. He listened to these women on his show when they told him that he shouldn't be calling women bitches.
This bitch is intolerable. You are such a nasty fucking bitch, Cam.
I don't know if you can call her a bitch, though.
She is a bitch. She's a fucking. You're right. I call her a see you next Tuesday.
Listen, I'm curious, what do Lena and Sam think about it?
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm gonna have to pass on saying that.
The infantilization of Ethan Klein is fucking nauseating. He's not a child. He is absolutely capable of looking into Hassan, learning about his politics, interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes with Hassan? Like, this guy made a fucking program with the biggest mega leftist on the platform. Now he's acting like he was tricked and he was incapable of figuring out what this guy's beliefs were. Bro, I didn't make the fucking leftist program. You did. You made fucking, what, 60 some odd episodes of this shit for hours talking to this guy? You didn't have a problem with any of it until, Ethan talks about being aware of Hassan's 9/11 comments and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not a victim. You weren't tricked. You made 60 some odd episodes. If you didn't want to go down this route, you shouldn't have done it. But that was your fucking choice. You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and Hila are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews, they cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person that represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person that represents all Jews, as no single state represents all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my God.
Israel, this is a lie that I see Hassan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never, I don't believe that that's ever been stated. And I don't think Israel ever explains that it's like,
I think Israel says it's a place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a place Jews can go? With that slogan, we might actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure, it sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's the stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think Israel has said that it represents every last Jew on the planet. I don't think Israel has claimed that. They're not going to say that their most genocidal behavior represents anything to do with them, okay? But what they are going to do is they're going to inexplicably link Israel and Jewishness together, so when they're being criticized, all of a sudden, they have the perfect defense. Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habib